Okay, now I have already mentioned these first three species relationships, so I'm not going to cover them in too much depth. I know it's a bit of change of pace, but I need to cover this from where it lies in the syllabus. Again, I want you to remember symbiosis is really just a long-term relationship between two organisms. Under that umbrella falls different interactions, including mutualism, where both species benefit, commensalism, where one species benefits, whilst one is unaffected, and parasitism, where one species benefits while the other is harmed. The final one I do want to introduce before we finish off with this is aminalism. This one, again, might be a little less familiar to you compared to the others we've covered. It's basically just a relationship where one organism is unaffected and the other is harmed. So this is sort of counter to the development of an ecosystem because it is not benefiting any species, which is why I'm discussing it now. You can imagine that if a cow was walking through a field, in doing so it would be stepping on heaps of grass, which obviously does not affect the cow unless it steps on a splinter or something, but generally it will not affect the cow, but it does harm the grass. We can say that this relationship is actually an example of aminalism, because one species is being harmed while the other is unaffected. But besides that, those are the only 5 relationships you need to know that occur between species. But you do need to know them again, so make sure again to become familiar with them. A lot of the names do give you a hint as to what the relationship involves. As you might have seen or noticed, like mutualism, which is a mutually beneficial relationship, and parasitism, where one organism is a parasite. But on that note, that finishes up our species classification topic. You might be thinking, hang on, there's still an hour left to this lesson. Are we really going to be covering sampling techniques for the rest of the lesson? And the answer is actually yes. There's a lot to unpack in that topic, and it is one that shows up relentlessly in data tests and externals. So I really want to make sure that we take our time to become comfortable with that topic. I would really like you to have a strong understanding of it and leave today with that so that you go into your lessons confident with it.